Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is Barissimo chocolate raspberry, and it's the last one I have. I don't like when Aldi's comes out with flavored coffees that are just special buys, because if you find one that you really like, you better stack up on it, because when it's gone, it's gone. And then they usually don't have that many of them in the store to begin with. So anyway, I'm going to enjoy this one last one this morning. I have other chocolate raspberries, but they're not quite as good. I just had a little hummingbird looking in my window. I don't know if it's the same hummingbird, but it's happened before where it just kind of hovers there looking in my kitchen window. So cute. So anyway, today's high is going to be 78 degrees. It's really been nice. Just in the upper 70s. So, but I've been busy, so I haven't been out in the garden to do much. But I should get out there today. I'd like to stay home today, but I need to go see my mom soon. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, because it's still early. So, I think it's going to be a beautiful day. There's no rain predicted, but I think this cooler weather has blown up north from the hurricane, which is fine with me, because this is my Goldilocks zone. I'm having chocolate creamer with it today instead of chocolate raspberry creamer, because this was my favorite way to have it. So let's give the coffee a taste. Cheers. Oh, yummy. Very good. So I still have some things I need to do in the dining room to finish that up, because I have a bunch of paints and things on my dining room table. I have a couple of things from my fireplace that I want to paint black. So it shouldn't take long, but I don't know. It seems like I'm always busy doing something. And now I have a bunch of groceries that I bought from the Dollar Tree that I need to put away. So sometimes it takes me a couple days to get all my groceries put away. First of all, I have to find a space for them if it's something that I don't have a space for. And secondly, usually by the time I get home from shopping, I start getting pretty sore, and my energy just runs out. It's just the way it is. So I really need to get outside. That should be one of my number one priorities today, because I have a lot of weeds out there. And I won't be able to do it all in one day, but I should be able to get quite a bit of it done in like 3 days' time if I spend half an hour to 45 minutes out there. So we'll see. We will see. So, all right, well, yesterday I went to my ex-husband's house and we celebrated his birthday with the family, and that was very nice. Yesterday was a beautiful day too. I actually could put the top down on my car, and I wasn't too hot and I wasn't too cold, so it was perfect for that. So, okay, I'm going to meet you over there at the budget book, and we'll talk about the budget. All right, here I am back at the budget book. Well, yesterday I did spend money. I had to get a birthday gift for my ex-husband and his wife. So I got them some trail mix snacks from Aldi's and a bottle of wine and a card. So I went into Dollar Tree to get the card, and they have cards for $1 now, but they still have a small section where I think it's 3 for $1. So the price on cards has gone up because I thought it was always, I don't know, 3 or 4 for $1. So all good things must come to an end. So I asked the lady at the Dollar Tree, I said, are your prices going to be going up? And she said, well, not that I've heard of, but she said, we're going to be getting items in that cost $7. So I guess their $5 aisle is going to also include items that cost $7. I don't know. But it just goes on and on and on with the inflation and the shrinkflation, so we have to shop smarter. I guess that's our strategy, just shop a little smarter. But there comes a breaking point, too, where, the dollar just doesn't stretch how it used to, especially if you're on a fixed income, like most seniors are. And unless you had, your own business at one point, or you had a lot of money and you put a lot of money away, the average person doesn't fall into that category. So our income sort of stays the same unless we get a side gig going, or we go out and get a job as needed, either part-time or, I don't know what everybody's circumstances are, but that's a shame that older people have to go back to work, especially if it's people who don't feel as good as they used to when they were younger. It makes it hard to get a job where you're standing on your feet, or, like even if you work at Walmart, not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're at the register, most of the time, even the people that, look like they have some disabilities going on have to stand there. So, and what else do you do? Getting a job as a waitress, that doesn't work out too well if you have physical issues. So, unless you're an office worker, but even that, a lot of us sitting all day have problems. So, I know that's the case with me. I cannot sit all day, and I can't stand all day. I have to do some of both. So anyway, I think certain people are more interested in taking care of others that are really none of our business. And those of us at home, the senior and those that served, get the short end of the stick. And I think that's just terrible. But that's just my opinion. You may not agree with me, and that's okay with me. I don't care if people don't agree with me. I still do my own thing. Sometimes I've known people over the years that love to give advice, and then they get upset if you don't take their advice, even if it was advice you didn't ask for. So I guess you just have to kind of ignore those people and let them move along and give somebody else some of their great advice. So don't be that person, if somebody doesn't ask you for advice, it's probably a good thing not to give it. That doesn't mean you can't share good ideas. I think that's a good thing. Because we as humans can't think of everything. But, don't get upset if people don't do things your way. They may consider changing their things around a little bit and incorporating some of the things that you suggest, but, getting upset about it doesn't help. And I know there's some people that are chronic complainers, and you get tired of hearing chronic complaining, especially if the person doesn't do anything about it. Other than complain, they don't take action. So sometimes, you got to take the action with the problem. So, if that really bugs you, then you can always very nicely say, well, I'm sure you can deal with the problem in your own way, but I can't help you. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'll be here to support you, but I can't help you. And then maybe they'll stop complaining. But there are some people that are chronic complainers. I'm sure we all know those people. And if it gets to be too much, you might want to decide to limit your time with those people if it really bothers you. So, I don't know what that has to do with, because I was talking about money, yes. So, some of us have a harder go at it than others of us, and I want to encourage you to use the food bank. You don't have to be sitting in your home with no food at all to utilize the food bank. And then, there's people out there, you don't need the food bank, blah, blah. Don't listen to them. They don't know, if you need to use the food bank because you need to pay your bill, your electric bill or your water bill or whatever bill you have, and you can't afford the food, or you need to buy medication and you can't buy both food and medication, go use the food bank, please. Nobody should be going hungry in this country. So, all right, that's my little spiel on finances and the food bank and the state of our economy. And anyway, we will do the best we can with what we have, and sometimes we will do without, and sometimes we won't. We'll have to shop smarter, find cheaper ways of doing the things that we just used to take for granted, and the money wasn't that big of an issue. So let's just hope and pray that this resolves, and we don't have 10 years of this like we had in the Depression. Okay, well, I'm going to sit and think about what I want to do today. I know what I should do, but that doesn't always mean I'm going to do that particular thing. So come back later and we'll see what's going on. Well, alrighty then. I didn't go outside today again. But that's okay. Well, I did water my elephant ears. They were looking a little droopy. So I just wanted to show you what I bought the day before yesterday at the farmer's market. I bought 2 of those flower plate art things. So I wanted to show those to you. So I bought this one, and they're kind of heavy. I bought this one. And then I also bought this one. And I think they're both beautiful. So this woman is really clever. She buys all these plates at thrift stores and Dollar Tree, wherever, and then she glues them all together. And then back here she flattens spoons, cheap spoons, and glues those on, and then that is what goes into the stake. And the stake is just a tube. So very easy to put up, but I think they're just really pretty. So those will be going out in the garden sooner or later. I've been debating if I should just wait till next year, but it's only August, and it's not even mid-August yet, so I'll probably end up putting them out, but I haven't figured out where to put them yet. So I got that, and then I got this apron. And I hadn't intended on getting any of this, but I just really liked the plates, so. And then I got this apron. And it's really cute. It's really comfortable. It's lightweight, and it's reversible. So sometimes in the morning, especially if I'm walking around in my pajamas, I think it's a good thing to maybe use this apron. So I don't know how much of it you can see, but you know, it just goes to my knees, and then in the back you just put it over your head, and then you put your arms in, and easy peasy. So now I look like a real Oma. So anyway, I'm not doing any cooking today. I got real lazy today. I've been cleaning up the kitchen, putting away my groceries from the other day. A little of this and a little of that, but I haven't done any projects today. So I'm just taking a break from taking a break. So anyway, I've been thinking about inflation and what I can do to save money. Now, when I say save money, I don't mean save money and put it in the bank necessarily, which, you know, I'll do that too, but I'm talking about saving money on whatever I buy. So these plates, these were $15 a piece. Now, if I bought one, it was $18. If I bought the two, it was $15. And I think these dishes are just beautiful. And then she puts old earrings and stuff in the middle. This lady was very creative. She also made this apron. So, but I was thinking about ways to save money. And it's getting harder and harder. So a lot of times what I do to save money is I just wait. If I'm looking for something, I just wait and look around for it and see where I can get the best price. So sometimes that requires me not to be able to get something right away, but like my car, for instance. I waited a long time. I sort of had an idea in my head. I really liked my car, but I couldn't afford it. It was just way too expensive. I definitely couldn't get a new one, but even the used ones were really expensive, way out of my budget. So what I ended up doing to get what I wanted was I found this car, and it was sort of serendipity, because I was driving down the road and my little car went zipping by, and it had a sticker in the window, and it's like, oh my God, that's the perfect car that I want. So I kind of followed the guy to see where he was going, and he was actually headed in the same direction to the same place that I was going. So when he pulled into this little lot, he has a salvage car lot. And this car is salvaged. It had been in an accident. You can't even tell. But he pulled into the lot, and I pulled in right after him. And, you know, he said, well, take the car for 2 or 3 days and see if you like it. So that's what I did. And it was the perfect car for me. And it was the perfect color. It was just perfect. It was just what I had envisioned when before I bought the car. So it's things like that that I try to do. I buy a lot of, when I buy appliances, I always look at the open box items first, and I bought a lot of my appliance that way. Sometimes they might have a little ding in them. Sometimes they're just an open box. I buy a lot of open box items. That's how I bought a lot of my City Picker garden boxes, was open item. And you know, they were anywhere from $10 to $15 cheaper than if I had bought brand new, and there was absolutely nothing wrong with them other than the box was beat up. So I do a lot of open item purchasing. I often go, when I do go to Mark's, I always look at their almost expired produce, and I have gotten a ton of produce marked down to $1. And I know a lot of you already know that. Then there's an app with the one grocery store, Giant Eagle, and I haven't been using that app very often because their prices have gone up too, and sometimes the things that they're selling on there are like almost expired, and the savings, it's not worth it to me to save those few pennies that they haven't marked down. But I used to buy a lot of produce that way, and some of the produce isn't the best anymore. You know, it used to be really pretty good still. So, but you know, if you have that kind of thing in your area, that might be a way where you can save money on food. Sometimes I see just farm stands when I go places. You can buy food there, and this is all from, it's sort of a flea market, farmer's market, so you can find reasonable things there to buy. As far as clothes go, I don't buy high-end clothes. I never have. I didn't buy high-end clothes or designer clothes for my kids either. And my kids always looked great, but you know, I didn't buy the name brand clothes. I couldn't afford it as a single mom with 3 kids. So you can save money by buying like knockoff things from for your shoes, for your clothes, and I know a lot of people like thrift stores. I don't shop at thrift stores too often, but every once in a while I will go into one, and I usually find something decent. That's how I found my one dehydrator. It only cost me $15. Because a lot of people will buy things like that, especially kitchen appliances, bread machines, you know, all sorts of things, and they think, oh yeah, I'm going to start this new hobby, and then they don't do anything with it. You can find canning jars, because people want a can, or they had an old-time relative, a grandma or an aunt, that they had to clean out their house, and they had canning jars, and the people that inherited the stuff don't have any interest in canning. So that's a way where you can pick up cheap canning jars. Getting your storage containers, some of them from Dollar Tree. Now Dollar Tree has these nice size ones for $1.25, and they're great for storing. Now this one I just stuck a cake mix in, but you know, you can get bigger boxes and buckets, whatever, to store things in, but these are kind of nice because like these, they have 2 macaroni and cheese in there, they have an onion soup mix, couple pizza crust mixes, and also a muffin mix, and that fits very nicely on a shelf, and you don't have to worry too much about bugs and rodents getting in there, especially if you put some bay leaves in with it. So you can get your storage containers there, and rather than having one big one, you can use, you know, numerous small ones, and they're nice because you can see what's in there. So that'll save you money. Now, you guys know I save a lot of money on food and the way I cook and the way I combine leftovers so that it makes it a little more interesting, and it's not, same old day after day. So I'm a little distracted here because little Lizzie's here poking me. She thinks it's time for her TREAT, but she's a little bit early. So she keeps poking me. So she's distracting me. But anyway, yeah, you can save a lot of money on food. And that way, when money's tight and you need to buy something else, whatever that may be, you'll have the money because you're not spending it on food. Now, I know a lot of people, they have a food budget every week, as a single person. I don't know how much you spend. It doesn't matter. Let's say you have a budget of, I don't know, $25 to $50 a week. And every week you spend $25 to $50 and you eat up your food, and then you go out and buy more food. I don't do things that way. The way I save money is I buy basics, and I buy the basics that I use over and over, and I can make multiple things with the basics that I buy. Beans, flour, rice, pasta, tofu, for you guys, if you eat meat, it could be meat. Textured vegetable protein, whether it's the nuggets or the small TVP that looks like ground meat. I always have that in the house. It's just basics. I buy basics and I mix and match and make meals with that. I dehydrate a lot of my food. I have dehydrated mushrooms. I have dehydrated apples. I make my own mushroom powder. So that's how I save money. I think ahead and I buy things. When I use something up, I'll buy a new one. So I always pretty much have at least 2 in reserve. So that's how I keep it stocked and how I keep it going. And the combination with those basic ingredients is just endless. You can make not meatloaves out of beans and rice and textured vegetable protein. You can add oats to it, and it gives it a very meat-like texture. So you can mix and match. You can make sausages out of it. I often make sausage patties out of oats and a few other ingredients. And sometimes I just use leftovers that I have, mashed potatoes or rice. And I just flavor them to be very meat-like. So those are some of the ways that I save money in this crazy inflation. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know why we put up with it. I honestly don't. But, the way things are going, it's almost like we're reverting back. And I know some of you are going to think I'm nuts, but that's okay. It's like we're reverting back to medieval times where you have the super rich and then you have the serfs and the peasants, and they don't like the middle class. The middle class has too much power that they're trying to do away with. So if you have something to protect yourself, that would be a good thing, and don't ever get rid of that. No matter how they try to gaslight you, just hang on to some certain things. I can't really talk about it too much because I'll get dinged here. But yeah, you gotta almost keep one step ahead of everything. You can buy biscuit mix and pancake mix, or you can make your own. Now it is going to require you to spend a little more time, but even so, you know, I have plenty of food in the freezer that I can just throw on the grill, and I buy it when it's on sale. Like a lot of the Impossible or Beyond sausages, I like those. I buy them when they're marked down to under $4 instead of paying over $7 for them. And you know, they may be very close to the expiration date, but that doesn't matter to me because I freeze them anyway. You can do the same thing with cheese. Now the texture of cheese does change a little bit, but you know, a lot of times I just use the cheese for cooking anyway. If I have an open bottle of wine, I use it for sauces and gravies, and I don't really care what kind of wine it is. Now, for beef-like sauces, I prefer a red wine, and for chicken-like sauces or seafood-like sauces, I prefer a white wine. I don't care if it's sweet or dry or what it is, but if I have open wine bottles and I can't drink it all because I don't drink a lot, I just use it to cook with. And you can be very, very creative with the ingredients you have on hand. I'll bet you that most of you, if you went in your refrigerator, you could probably come up with a week's worth of dinners or breakfasts or lunches just with ingredients that you have in the refrigerator or freezer. Give it a try. You know, even if you save $50 once a month, you know, buy your regular groceries if you don't want to do things the way that I do it. If you save once a month and don't buy groceries and just use up everything that you have in the refrigerator, you know, in a year, that's quite a bit of money. What is that, $600 a year? Something like that. I don't know, I never claimed to be a math wizard. But anyway, so I wanted to show you my little plates, my garden art, and I didn't think $15 a piece was a whole lot to spend on that. And I obviously will be taking those in late in the fall because I don't think they'd fare well in the snow. But, so anyway, let me know some of the things that you do to save money on household things. You can make your own cleaning products. Vinegar is still relatively cheap. Baking soda is relatively cheap. You can get essential oils at Dollar Tree if you want to add a scent to your cleaning products. You can make your own laundry detergent by buying bars of Feld's naphtha. My daughter made her own, and I forget what she put in there, but I think it was those scent things. What are they, Downy? Feld's naphtha and maybe baking soda or something. I can't remember the formula. I'd have to ask her. But I'm sure there's plenty of them if you Google it. And and it lasted her a long, long time. And she has still 3 kids at home and a husband and, of course, herself. So she really liked making that. And she gave me some, and I tried it out, and it worked great. So, all right, well, those are some of my ideas. I'm sure you all have a ton more ideas. Leave them in the comments below so we can all learn from each other. And I'm going to go be lazy some more. I'll clean up the kitchen a little bit more. I have a few more things to put away. But other than that, that's all I have for you today, my friends. So I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless. bless you, and I'll see you next.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.